It's Saturday morning here, my friends. We have a lot to talk about. I know we had that first round of snowfall. We're not quite done with that first round of snow just yet. We're looking at 2 rounds of snowfall. So if you're waking up today and you're like, oh, this might be a bust, we're not looking at a lot of snow. We've been talking about this, that this is going to happen, that there's going to be a little bit of a break. And then round 2, that's going to be the more significant snowfall accumulations that will be back in the forecast. Let's talk about it, right? So as of right now, we are continuing to track this major winter storm here in our region. Currently, seeing some flurries outside to light snow. We're still looking at a little bit more light to moderate snow. You could see that in the southwestern parts of the state. All of that's coming here into Oklahoma City within the next couple of hours. That's going to produce maybe an additional 1 to 3 inches before that second round of snowfall makes an arrival. So if you're waking up right now and you're seeing, 4 inches of snow on the ground and only flurries, don't think that this is a bust, because that is not the case. We are continuing to track this winter storm, and a lot more snow is back in the forecast. You're currently seeing that here on the radar. Timing this out for us, right? Closer to noon time frame, 1 p.m. That snow that I was just talking about, southwestern parts of Oklahoma, that's going to make its way here into the metro, into Oklahoma City, into Norman. That's going to bring in some light to moderate snow. Like I said, an additional 1 to 3 inches through around 5 p.m. time frame. This is exactly what we've been thinking this whole entire time. Then we're going to see more of that significant snow start to roll in after 5 to 6 p.m. That second round makes its way back into the forecast. Now we're looking closer to, 10 p.m. time frame, seeing moderate to heavy snow, and that moderate to heavy snow will be continuing right through those morning hours tomorrow. And then even, early afternoon hours tomorrow, still seeing some on and off snow showers, and then things will continue to improve. When it comes to winter storm warnings, we are currently seeing those winter storm warnings back in the forecast. We knew this is going to happen. We were the first ones to actually say, hey, there's a possibility for well over 8 inches of snowfall. Not possibility, but it's going to happen. I was the first one here on Tuesday morning saying, hey, we're going to get over 8 inches of snowfall in Oklahoma City. So we were the first station here tracking this major historic snowfall. I know there was still uncertainty. Of course, we were several days away, but with doing intense research with my expertise when it comes to snowstorms, I've been doing this for well over 20 to 25 years, tracking all these winter storms, especially winter storms, for where I lived. I knew this was going to happen. This is exactly what has been planned out to happen, is exactly what's happening. Winter storm warnings in effect till around noon on Sunday. So we still have around 27 hours to go with those winter storm warnings. Now, even after those winter storm warnings, we're still seeing very slick conditions. So it's not like, hey, it's over, we're done, everything's back to normal, because it's not, because roads will still be in bad shape even after, that winter storm warning expires as well. Now, when it comes to winter storm severity, more on the major side here in the metro, a lot of people, everyone's going to be affected by this winter storm. Continuing to see, more snow bands coming on through, but more of that heavy snow will be here in the evening to overnight hours into tomorrow morning as well. Everyone's getting affected by this. Now, it's not only a, couple of inches and then it melts the next day. This is a major winter storm where we're getting possibly a foot, if not more, in many locations. And then this snow will be sticking around as well. Now, from around noon to 6 p.m. for today, on and off snow showers, right? We're looking at mostly light to moderate snow in the forecast. So, like I said, an additional maybe 1 to 3 inches right through around 5 to 6 p.m. Then from around 6 p.m. to around 7, 8 a.m. tomorrow, we're looking at, well over 6, 7, 8 inches of additional snow falling. So that would total us to around a foot, if not more. But then we're not done just yet. Then after, closer to noon time frame, things will start to wrap up with some light snowfall. Overall, though, continuing to see that round 2 still in the region till around, maybe 11 a.m. noon time frame. When it comes to snowfall accumulations, we've been talking about this. We've been right on point with this 8 to 12 plus inches of snowfall here for the metro in Oklahoma City into Norman as well. And that's still exactly what we are seeing. Continuing to track even well over a foot of snow in many locations, especially let's say, for example, northeastern parts of the state. There's many locations that we'll see, maybe even close to 1.5 feet in a few spots, with snow drifts of several feet. Road conditions, of course, are snow and ice covered. I was just outside taking a look at how things are looking with the conditions, and yes, we are seeing A lot of snow on the ground. We're seeing right around 4-ish inches of snow, if not more in many locations. Depends where you are located. But here in the metro, right around 4 as of right now. An additional couple of inches starts to roll in again until that second round comes through. Once that second round of snow comes through, that's going to produce majority of our snowfall accumulations. So we are continuing to track, this winter storm. We're pretty much in the middle of this round 1. Bit more of a break, and then continuing to head into round 2 of the snowfall. Road temperatures are back in the single digits and teens here. So, of course, if we're in the single digits and teens for road temperatures, we're not going to be looking at any slush. What we're going to be looking at is more ice on the bottom surface and then snow on top. At least we're getting that snow on top, but then that ice on the bottom of the road, the surface on the roads, that's what's going to cause a lot more slick conditions, and that will continue not only through this winter storm, but into next week as well. Winter impacts, right? Snow impacts, extreme, historic winter storm. Sleet impacts more in the southeastern parts of the state. Travel impacts, extreme as well, right through even Monday, even a good chunk of beginning to middle of next week. We're still looking at some slick roads because of the temperatures. They're going to be generally below freezing. Power outages, not quite as many power outages in Oklahoma City, but if you go into the southeastern parts of the viewing area and then more south and east of the viewing area, now we're getting into more of a moderate impact when it comes to power outages. That's because more freezing rain, more sleet in those areas south of the metro. And of course, that's going to weigh down some of the power lines, and then snow on top. And of course, we're looking at closures, absolutely seeing closures when it comes to schools, roads as well, businesses, anything else outside. Overall, though, when it comes to driving tips in the snow and ice, you want to accelerate and deaccelerate slowly. You want to reduce speed. Of course, you really want to reduce speed by at least half of what the speed limit is, minimum. Avoid locking up your brakes. So don't slam on your brakes. Even just hitting the brakes, moderately will cause you to lock up your brakes. You don't want to do that because then the car is sliding. You want to very lightly hit the brakes, and that's why we're saying reduce your speed and very lightly hit the brakes. Don't hit the gas too hard powering up going up hills, because that's going to make you spin out. And then don't stop when you're going uphill as well, because then it's going to be much harder. You don't have that momentum to continue up that hill, and it's going to be much harder to accelerate again up the hill. And if it's icy enough, it could start to bring you down, could slide you down as well. Actual temperatures, it's cold out there. I was just peeking out there, and it's windy. We're seeing temperatures around 7 degrees in the metro, close to 0 in Woodward, but continuing to see single digits as temperatures as of right now. With the winds, we are back below 0 with a feels like temperature, so that wind chill is the same thing as a feels like temperature. It is well below 0 as of right now. Extreme cold weather alerts, extreme cold warnings are in effect right now through 9 a.m. on Monday. We might get them posted, maybe an advisory or so for Tuesday morning with the cold temperature sticking around. But overall, though, through next week, we're still looking at cold air back in the forecast. And speaking of that, right, teens on Sunday, barely hitting 10, 11 degrees here for today. Monday, we're back around 20, back in the 20s and 30s through next weekend as well. Now, if we didn't have the snow on the ground, now we'd be looking at like 40s and 50s. So we'd be looking at much warmer temperature conditions if we did not see this thick snowpack here for our area. So we are continuing to track this as well as we continue to head later and later into the week as well. Now, overall though, yes, we are continuing to see a lot more of the snow accumulation with this round 2. This round 2 is going to produce a lot more snowfall back in the forecast. So a lot of snow on the ground, let's say a foot plus, for the most part. And then on top of that, now we're looking at, it's kind of going to be like a freezer for us, keeping us very cold. Wind chills close to 5 to 10 below 0 right now. Temperatures maybe slightly above 10 degrees here for the metro. Otherwise, they're staying very cold for the day to day. Feeling very cold as well. Temperatures and wind chills for Sunday morning, same story, back in the single digits. It's actually going to be much colder than what this is showing here. And that's because of that fresh snowpack. Now, it's going to feel much colder as well. Even Monday morning, wind chills close to 20 degrees below 0. Let's time this out, right? As of right now, let's say, for example, it's feeling like 10 below 0. Throughout the day, it's going to feel like close to 10 below zero with the gusty winds and the cold temperatures in the single digits, close to 10 degrees sticking around. Sunday morning comes along, same story, feeling like we're at 10 below zero for the whole entire state. Monday morning now comes along. Now we're closer to 15 to 20 degrees below zero when it comes to a feels like temperature. So Monday morning is going to be the coldest, but from now till Monday morning, it's going to feel extremely cold. Temperature-wise, though, and wind chill values as well. This is the true definition of winter weather in the forecast. No matter where you are, even if we lived in Alaska, this right now, with the major winter storm, the bitterly cold temperatures, this is a true definition of winter in the region. Temperatures in the single digits and teens, some snow in the forecast, and wind chills well below zero. This is exactly what winter consists of, and we will continue to stick around with these winter-like weather conditions through the rest of next week as well. So if you thought, hey, we're done with the snow on Sunday, Monday comes along, we're going to be warming up. We're going to be slowly warming up, but still below freezing for the most part, keeping us very cold. The snow will be sticking around as well. Now, 2 rounds of snow this weekend. We're in the middle of this round 1. We're going to continue to see on and off snow showers, light to moderate snow, through the early afternoon hours for today. Dangerously cold wind chills as well do exist. Road conditions will remain poor through at least Monday. Now, a lot of people are waking up today. We've been talking about this. A lot of people will be waking up on Saturday, might be thinking, wow, we've only seen a few inches of snowfall. It's not really snowing. What's going on? Is this a bust? What exactly is transpiring? It was supposed to be close to a foot of snow. We're not seeing that. But we've been talking about this, that round 1 of snowfall will be on the lighter side. Then we're going to see a bit more of a break for several hours, some on and off snow showers. And then in the evening for today, after like 5, 6 p.m., now we're getting into more moderate, heavy snowfall. So overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, now we're looking at consistent, moderate to heavy snowfall back in our region. So overall, though, yes, we are seeing a little bit of a break right now, but don't think that this is a bust or we're not going to see as much snowfall, because we will. That second round was always going to bring in a lot more snowfall compared to what we're seeing out there right now. The cold temperatures are still sticking around, so of course it's getting pretty hard for the road crews to get rid of the icing, because a lot of people don't know this, but if you put salt down on the roads, sidewalks as well, the salt's not going to work the best with temperatures under 15 degrees. Now, the colder we get to like 5 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 degrees Fahrenheit, now that salt is not really going to be working because of how cold it is. So that's going to make things a lot harder, because now that salt isn't going to be working properly because of how cold it is. Now, we have to use extreme caution and wear multiple layers outside. So you want to make sure you got your boots ready, you got your thick pants ready, you got layers on, which means, you know, a shirt to keep that heat on, maybe a sweater, and then a coat on top of that, your biggest coat you have. A hat, gloves, key. Maybe put your hood up to keep the wind from getting into, you know, on your neck or on your face as well. Trying to avoid that wind chill, which is close to 10 below zero. Now, you got to keep your generators away from your house just in case anything goes wrong. And then, of course, we're seeing the cold snowpack that will generally keep us below 32 degrees well into next week as well. So we are continuing to track some significant weather all over the region for everybody, all over the state. Not only looking at that significant snowfall, but also the very cold temperatures in the region as well. So there's multiple things that are going on as of right now. We are continuing to track it, of course, continuing to look at exactly what is happening here. My clicker isn't working. Got a second one. Backup. Always need a backup. You never know what's going on outside. But yes, overall though, looking at, you know, our 10-day outlook here, let's talk about that. We're seeing a weather-worn day out there for today. That's going to continue right through today because of this winter storm. Very cold temperatures still sticking around. Weather-worn day for tomorrow as well because of the lingering snow for the first half of the day, and then the very cold temperatures sticking around as well, and then just continuing to get colder. Now, by Monday morning, now we're getting into extreme cold. Now we're getting into, you know, closer to like 3 below zero if not colder. It's probably going to be a bit colder. When it comes to an actual temperature, wind chill values close to 15 to 20 degrees below zero. And then we're going to stick around in the 20s and 30s right through next week. Now, there is a bit of a potential for maybe some additional lighter snow next Thursday night into Friday. We'll see how things go, but let's take it one storm at a time. But winter-like weather still sticking around right through next week. So, yes, it is currently, we are currently seeing some lighter snow, some flurries in the forecast, but this is round one. So, like I was saying many times, round two is going to be here in the afternoon to evening hours. That's going to produce most of this snowfall accumulations for our area. So, we are continuing to track this. We're continuing to see exactly what is transpiring all over the area, but we're still on point with everything we've been talking about. We're close to a foot of snow as possible in Oklahoma City, if not more in a few spots. That will be very likely. And then very cold temperatures sticking around as well. All right, my friends, we have multiple cut-ins we're going to be doing, live cut-ins. We have more Facebook Live coverage as well. My next one is going to be at 11:30 a.m., so stay tuned in. We have additional Facebook Lives coming through into the afternoon hours with shows and live coverage. We have team coverage, people outside in the field as well. I'll be posting more on social media as well. We'll have a lot more updates coming on through. And yeah, definitely looking at exactly what we've been thinking is going to happen since the beginning of the week with this historic winter storm. A lot of snow, major impacts, a lot of sleet, southern parts of the state, and then very, very cold, bitterly cold temperatures in the forecast as well. All right, my friends, try and avoid travel at all costs unless you really have to. If you have to, take it slow, take it easy as well. Leave extra room in front of that vehicle in front of you. We'll have more additional updates coming on through, and I'll see you soon.